Welcome to Top 10 Thursdays, where nostalgia is always in full supply. If you grew up in the 80s or early 90s, your after-school ritual probably involved cartoons and NES games. So what better way to celebrate that golden combo than by diving into 10 NES titles based on animated shows? Some of these games were surprisingly great adaptations. Others were just fun because of the characters you got to play as. Either way, these are the top 10 NES games based on cartoons. Starting things off with some Looney Tunes flair, the Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout is a charming, if slightly odd, platformer where Bugs has to fight his way through jealous friends who weren't invited to his party. The gameplay is simple, but the character variety and humor give it a unique charm. It's not a masterpiece, but it is a solid cartoon tie-in that gave kids a fun way to hang out with the Looney Tunes crew. Now, Konami really brought their A-game with this one. Tiny Toon Adventures is a well-crafted platformer that lets you switch between characters like Buster Bunny, Dizzy Devil, Plucky Duck, and Furball, each with their own abilities. It's bright, colorful, and plays like a spiritual cousin to Super Mario Bros. 3 in its structure and pacing, with a tiny smidge of Super Mario Bros. 2 panache thrown in. It's a standout among licensed NES games. Arguably one of the best licensed games on the NES, DuckTales gave us Scrooge McDuck pogo jumping his way through the Amazon, Transylvania, and even the moon. Developed by Capcom, the game had tight controls, catchy music, and an adventurous spirit that matched the show perfectly. Plus, that moon theme? It was absolutely iconic, even getting the "what if it had lyrics" treatment on YouTube years after it released. Another Capcom classic is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. This one featured two-player co-op, a rarity for the NES platformer scene. The ability to pick up and throw crates, enemies, and even your partner gave the game a fun twist. And with memorable bosses and bright, expressive visuals, it really felt like playing through an episode of the show. Surprisingly polished for a late NES release, The Flintstones, The Rescue of Dino and Hoppy combines fun visuals and tight gameplay. You play as Fred, swinging his club and climbing through stages to rescue his beloved pet dino. There's even a basketball minigame. The game also had a pseudo-sequel starring the Jetsons, Cogswell's Caper, but the Flintstones game is the stronger of the two. We'll give the Jetsons a tip of the hat here. A near-perfect home adaptation of the hit arcade game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 The Arcade Game let you and a friend team up as your favorite heroes in a half-shell, and bash your way through the Foot Clan. It had great sprites, fast action, and pizza power to spare. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was everywhere back then, and this game delivered exactly what fans wanted. It's largely forgotten since the first game on the NES was so brutal, but this game is a great one that you're sure to enjoy. While not without its flaws, Bart vs. the Space Mutants was ambitious. It blended platforming, puzzle solving, and item collection in a way that few NES games did. The difficulty curve was brutal, but playing as Bart in Springfield, all while wielding spray paint and X-ray specs, was undeniably cool for fans of the show. A late NES release that flew under the radar, Felix the Cat is a tight, colorful platformer that's way better than you'd expect. It's simple, but the transformations Felix undergoes thanks to his magic bag give the gameplay a fun and varied feel. This one's a great example of a game that understood its source material and ran with it. Let's Get Dangerous. Another Capcom gem, Darkwing Duck plays like a blend of Mega Man and Batman the video game, with wall-grabbing mechanics and selectable levels. The visuals are fantastic, and the soundtrack captures the vibe of the show perfectly. It's tough, but very rewarding. The original was great, but DuckTales 2 refined everything. Scrooge's pogo abilities were tweaked, the level design was more intricate, and the game had hidden treasures and multiple endings. Unfortunately, it came out late in the NES's life, and didn't get the attention it deserved, and the soundtrack wasn't quite as catchy. But if you're a fan of the show or the first game, it's absolutely worth checking out. There you have it, 10 NES games that brought your favorite cartoon characters to 8-bit life. Some of these are classics, some are hidden gems, and all of them gave us a way to keep the Saturday morning magic going long after the credits rolled. Did your favorite make the list? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more retro countdowns. See you next time. check out our review for Arcade Paradise. It's a very fun, retro-heavy game. If you're into D&D, you can also check out our sister channel, Tellust, where we have plenty of maps on display. And we'll also be refreshing this channel with new retro reviews, so keep an eye out.